Oh, hey guys. Hi. Gonna get my juice. Um, so I decided that I was gonna do another video. It's been so long. Just a quick video to talk about a couple of things and just to, hopefully I can come on more often and share some things. But my ear is a little stopped up too. Um, I think what I want to talk about is what's going on lately. There's a lot going on. We have always too much going on around here in this millennialized world, I call it. But I think for me, what's trending right now is time travel. There are a lot of shows that are um, trending the theme of time travel. I think I saw, oh my God, you know what's really good? I saw the Star Trek Discovery, the new Star Trek on last week. And it took me a minute to get into it. I still I think I fell asleep on some of the episodes, so I didn't see the endings of some, Then the next day I just pick off where I left off. Uh oh, I'm frozen. But they have some amazing special effects on time travel. And the reason I'm talking about time travel is because even though there are a lot of themes or a lot of shows and books and stuff that and information and even news that's trending with regard to time travel because it's the next thing. I mean, it's been the next thing for a while, but you can't, how can you not talk about it? Where are we headed, if not um to articulate time travel. So anyway, yeah, it's trending a lot. But they have some great special effects on Star Trek Discovery. That's what is that's what it feels like. That's what's up. The special effects they show, that's my internal scape, you could say. But this time travel thing back for goes back a long time. Um, in my experience, it goes back a long time as well. So let's see. Oh, and before I forget, there's a new book that I don't know how many of you know who Peter Moon is, but he's an author and he's written, oh my God, so many books. He was a very formative author for the New Age. So during the whole 80s and 90s, he wrote a whole bunch of books about, different spiritual subjects. And he partnered, well, excuse me, his original book, if anybody knows about um, the up in New York, oh my God. Guys, I was outside shopping, not shopping, but I went grocery shopping to pick up a few things. And it's Sunday. So I'm just kind of, I mean, I'm spacey anyway, but I'm a little out of it. Let's see. The Philadelphia experiment and the Montauk experiment with Preston Nichols. And then there's Duncan Cameron, who's another character. But Peter Moon was one of the people to talk, the premier person that I knew back in the 90s that, um, you know, did some really good research on the Philadelphia experiment and came out with that. I believe that was the title of the book. Guys, this video is freezing, so So anyway, yeah, he wrote a really good book on Philadelphia experiment, I believe it was, and then the Montauk. He did like a couple of them on the Montauk experiment, Montauk, New York, which was a follow up. So this was sort of like, like the new age introduction of nonfiction time travel. And it's really hard to say. Like, I don't even have it all in my head right now. I'd have to, write it all down and organize it to talk to you guys about all of them, all of the works that I've come across, which have been, oh my God, so many on time travel. But I'm just trying to give you a, just like a sort of a timeline of when I first got serious with the study of time travel, you could say. Oh my God, I'm all. It's so funny when you see yourself like frozen on the computer. So anyway, so that was the first time I read, maybe that's the book that I remember that really sort of set it in. And so he's written many other books since then. Synchronous. Oh my God. He literally, like, how we talk about 11:11 and 12:12 and, the synchronicities. Well, he wrote a book again. I can't remember the year. Don't ask me. I'll tell it another time when I organize, do a video that's a little more organized. But yeah, he wrote a lot of books, one on synchronicities that was amazing. He also did this amazing research on the Moors, if you know anything about that topic, and specifically about the Moors, you know, that have descended from Noble Drew Ali here in the United States with Black people. The title of the book is called Ong's Hat. Amazing book. Really, really good book that Peter Moon wrote. But anyway, he's got a new one out. Well, it's not his book, but he has a publishing company called, um, oh my God, I can't remember the name of his publishing company. But anyway, he has a book out. He's teamed up with a lot of different writers. And so Radu Cinemar, who's in Bulgaria, who's, a writer, there, and has written extensively on spiritual matters, um, and a particular storyline that Peter picked up on a while back that has to do with some really wild stuff. Has to do with some characters that are um, moving through time and dimension, so to speak. But anyway, check the books out. The latest one is, oh, gosh, I can't even remember the title of the latest book. Oh, I've seen it a few times with him posting on Facebook and on Amazon. I've got to get my copy, but anyway, I'll come back later and do something that gives all the titles and the information. I was really just coming to chat and hang out today, but time travel is the thing that's trending for me right now. um with everybody. Oh Lord, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm so sick and tired of, and I'm sorry, I'm being, the quintessential Virgo right now, complaining, and I'm working on not complaining so much. But um the whole spiritual community, quote unquote spiritual community, I'm just like so done. I'm so sick of everybody. It's like millions and millions of people now who are experts on, you know, everything that has to do with spirituality, the occult, metaphysics, and I can't, some of us, I don't mean to like complain and sound arrogant, but there are many people who've been in this game like since way, 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 way back. And, it's really nice. Like, it's a double edged sword because it's really wonderful now that so many people are aware. Like, you can have a conversation, with people about, spiritual matters, because now there's a context and a language for us to all talk about it. But oh, I know what I need to talk about. I know I'm gonna put it in, I'm gonna say a little bit in this video so I can remind myself. I need to write it down, but I need to talk about, and I have done a video on this. I just don't think I think I erased it or something. But um it was about 4 or 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, when during the Gulf of Aden and Antarctica, when they were having those spirals going on, in the sky over Antarctica. And I remember that I had an experience, and I've spoken with at least three other people now who can remember, but I have to talk to them again so I can redocument it when I have, when my mind is a little more clear of this, when that spiral was happening. I remember, I got a story for you guys on this. I was sitting at a 7-Eleven. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning. So what I used to do, and these were I don't know what you want to call these, my bohemian, when I was going through my awakening, um, and I was with my twin flame, my troubled karmic twin flame, who's no longer around, but might pop back up any day. Um, but yeah, as health conscious and vegan as I am, when I was with my twin flame, I had started, veering off. And I remember I don't even drink Dr. Pepper. I don't drink sodas. But I drove down the street. I woke up in the middle of the night, drove down to the 7-Eleven that, that's, a minute or two away, and got a Dr. Pepper. And I was sitting in my FJ Cruiser smoking Nat Sherman Gold Tips, because I was smoking cigarettes, tobacco, for about 3 years, 3 years, 3 or 4 years maybe. I started smoking with my twin flame. Anyway, I looked up in the sky. This was when stuff was just thick. It was, I can't even explain. I mean, again, I'm gonna have to really set up some of these stories with some good videos, and I'm at 12 minutes, so let me hurry up, because I probably haven't even said anything in 12 minutes. But let me just say, the sky opened up, and a whole bunch of, I'm gonna call them demons, entities flooded in. And we started noticing how, because we were really, really high. When I say high, I mean high in the spirit. Back in these days, we were channeling, and all kinds of stuff was happening. Y'all remember this about 5, 6 years ago, between 2011 and 2000. And once 2012 hit, it was off the hook, right? So, but yeah, we started, going to the grocery store, and we could read people's minds or hear these entities, like just talking, and you know, I remember Lucy had come out, and Interstellar, and um, Now You See Me, and it was just so much going on. But anyway, um, back to the time travel theme. The time travel theme. Um, Way, way back, maybe 2003 or so, I remember my aunt, who is like a sister because she's 4 years younger than me. So I always refer to her as my sister. She's really my mother's youngest sister. And she was in Berlin, studying, I think, doing some language study at the time. She was always in Europe for various things throughout the 90s and 2000s. Um, so anyway, she was in Berlin studying language, and I went that summer to visit her. I visited her in the summer of somewhere around 2003, 2004. And but before that, it was before that, I believe. I don't know if it's before or after. I'm gonna have to ask her. But I had a dream. I was having these because I've always had dreams. That's one of my gifts. And I was dreaming about a time machine, and I didn't know what it was. I wasn't calling it a time machine. It's just this machine that kept popping up inside of my dreams. And the time machine, they gave me the word for it. They called it a particle accelerator or something like that. And this was before I had even heard that term, right? And I'll tell you right around the time when it was, because the movie Angels and Demons came out like a little after, and they used that term, and I was like, oh shit, like what's going on here? Um, but anyway, you know, I'm a dreamer anyway, lucid dreamer, and I get oracle channels and communications like really heavy through dreams. Always have. So, but sometimes, I'll ignore it if it's just a theme and it comes and goes. Or not ignore it, but I'll write, make a mental note. I don't write my dreams down anymore. I need to. I used to have journals of them a decade ago. But now it's all up here. But because it was coming, like it kept coming and coming, the dream and the synchronicities. So then I was talking to my other aunt who's a missionary. The one good thing about me is coming from a family that's very spiritual, like it's always really nice, because it was, not so much anymore because things have changed, the landscape of family has changed. There's been so many towers and shifts and transitions. But I've always, what I'm trying to say is I've always been able to talk to my, somebody in my family about some of the stuff, because they've all, experienced what I call mysticism. We come from a family of mystics. Um, so anyway, I had called my aunt, I believe, and I, eventually started telling her the story about this machine thing. And I didn't really have the language to describe it, so I was just trying to describe it the best way I could. And so then she told me that my other aunt, the one I'm talking about, the younger one, um, had called her telling her very similar stories. And it's so funny because in our family, one day I'm going to tell you guys about this abduction experience in my family from the 70s, which is what got me into, studying metaphysics and the occult. Um, you know, but anyway, she told me that my other aunt, my younger aunt, was having similar um dreams. Or I think she was having some real experiences. They weren't even dreams. And she was in London at the time because she was a model. So she was in London. I don't know if she was working, but she was in London. So anyway, we ended up hooking up. She ended up calling me because I think this was before internet, y'all. She called me and we debriefed on on my dream and whatever her experience was, and they were cross correlating. Hers was hers was pretty deep, and I remember I kept telling her about the particle accelerator. We were describing, she was describing that. Oh my God, hers was interesting. She was describing how, let me see if I can remember the story. It had something to do with a van. There was a woman, I think this was real life. And it was like some kind of, like, I don't know, like they were on to whatever she was doing and they were trying to stop it somehow. And then she was inside doing her time travel thing, guys. Again, this is like 2003 or something. And I remember her telling me that she was allowed to go backwards as far as she could go, but she couldn't go forward. Excuse me, they wouldn't let her go forward. So the dream that I had been having had to do with the actual machine. And it was like sitting in a chair. I remember describing it was like sitting in some kind of a seat. And I can't even remember now, man. I wish I had all those, could find those journal entries, but life has just been so, you know, gypsy-ish last several years. Um, but anyway, yeah, I don't know if that was before Berlin or after. So then let's just throw Berlin in there. She was in Berlin. I went to visit her. I remember I had this book on parallel universe theory or something like that. Because I remember we were driving down the Autobahn to Dusseldorf to go to this Black Film Festival. and in a little smart car before smart cars were even, you know, I don't, there weren't any here in the States. They hadn't made it over here yet. And they were made by Mercedes, I think, at the time. So that little tiny smart car, we got on the Autobahn and drove like, oh my God, I remember people like passing, zoom, zoom, zoom. I don't, I, Sometimes I say it's just like when you're young, you're just young and stupid and you don't realize, because like at my age now, there's no way I would have taken a smart car on the Autobahn, trying to drive it the first time driving um, in Berlin, in Germany, and driving that thing to Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf, it's kind of like, if I recall correctly, Dusseldorf was about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, maybe like here to, I don't know. Well, when I say here, I'm in LA, like from LA to not San Diego. That is further than that. But anyway, nonetheless, it was a, a, a nice timed drive on the Autobahn where we were going over 100 and cars were still zoom, zoom, zoom. So anyway, I remember that I had my parallel universe book. I don't know. I remember I was reading it and I remember all these synchronicities going on. And the reason I mentioned the Autobahn is because that had directly something to do with, me um, um, musing over parallel universe theory and time travel and all this, because I was writing this Autobahn, and I don't know, there were connections just being in Germany, period, because I somehow I knew, don't ask me, I didn't know yet, I hadn't like officially researched, but somehow I knew that, I think I did know a little bit about the rumors with regard to the Nazis and time travel, but I didn't know a whole lot. And I was actually working there too. I was singing there that summer. Not working, but I was working with, my music. So I ended up singing at oh, I love that jazz club. If you're ever in Berlin, I don't know what it's like now because this was over 10, 15 years ago, but it's called A Train, I think it is, jazz club. Really, really, it was a really nice jazz club. And some of the other clubs locally that one of our friends that we met had put together some really nice mixes from my music. But anyway, back to the story. we Yeah, we were in Berlin, and there was just this huge theme in my hologram of time travel. So it was trending then. Um, and then it, boot, 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 different time periods, it comes back in, and I would, muse over it some more. But now, okay, today, 2019, the last couple of months, last 3, 4 years, but the last couple, you guys know how this game is going. It's just, it gets faster and faster and faster every year. Every year, things that took a year for us to get in terms of information with the collective critical mass, now it took a year. Now it takes a week, a month, for the same information to spread and hit, and everybody's on it, and it's trending in our collective consciousness. So that's what's been up lately. I just got back from Japan. Yay! Oh my God, I had such a good time. Oh my God, would I live in Japan? Absolutely. Loved it. Loved it. That's a whole nother video. I got to talk about like all the amazing um, connections that I made with the energies and entities there. My favorite places were, there's a place called I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but, and I'm about to learn Japanese this summer. I'm gonna now maybe I'll do a video in Japanese. Um, it's called the Seimei Shrine, I think it was Seimei Shrine, but it's a Taoist shrine in the middle of Kyoto. Kyoto was my favorite place. I only went to Tokyo for a day trip, and I'm so glad. I was initially going to going to base my trip in Tokyo and then take the bullet train to Kyoto. But instead, a good friend of mine who's a professor of Japanese history, or a retired professor from of Japanese history at USC, um, he was the one that advised me to do it the other way, to go to Kyoto and then take the overnight trip to Tokyo. So I did that. And I'm glad I did, because I went to an amazing museum in Tokyo that I'll tell you about too. It's called the Miracon. Oh my God. Speaking of which, and I did intend to talk about it, but oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. I've never in my life seen a museum like this. You have to Google it. And Miraican. It's a science museum in Tokyo. I think they opened it in 2001, but it's 3 floors of exhibits, permanent and um, you know seasonal exhibits. But the permanent exhibits are off the chain. They have an exhibit on all 5 of the CERN machines. It may be more than five or six. I thought there were only 2 CERN machines. I mean, I remember when the original one became public knowledge. I used to talk about it a lot, um, with regard to HARP and a lot of things. But um, yeah, it has a permanent exhibit on the CERN machines and how they work and what the purpose is, and how all of the countries who have them, because like 4 countries I think that have them. Um, I think there's 2 in Asia now. The rest are, I believe, in Europe. Of course, there's the one in Switzerland or whatever. But they have permanent exhibits on time travel. They have exhibits. Well, it's um, of course home to these studies on robotics and stuff, but time travel, internet, all kind of stuff. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it, because it was just something I was going to try to get in my tourist spots while I was there. And it just so happened that I ended up finding that museum, so I went there. And just amazing. It was just amazing. I couldn't believe synchronistically how I ended up at a place like that. And they had, oh my God, they had this it's like a like a holographic movie, sort of like, how here in the States we have IMAX theaters that are 3D. This was 3D, but it was 3D at a whole nother level. It was like holographic 3D, and it was all on time travel. I gotta find the name of that film. It's amazing, amazing. It was an award-winning film in this little theater in the museum, where we put glasses on, and they told you all about quantum theory and time travel, and whew, it's amazing. But anyway, that and Sensoji. So Seimei Shrine was in Kyoto, and then the Sensoji is this really beautiful. I think it's the oldest temple in Tokyo, and it's all devoted to Kuan Yin, which is one of my favorites. I've been a Kuan Yin devotee for, again, at least 15 years now. So I mean, just being there at her temple in Tokyo, just made me cry, you know, made me cry. Beautiful. You have your incense, and there's like a, um, there's like a place where Buddhists who are local, who are members, I guess, of the temple can go in and like make prayer. Like, there's like a little kind of like a Catholic, you know, church, where they have the little what am I thinking about, altar, like the little altar where you can looking at something on my free up disk space. Okay. And yeah, and then the sandalwood, you buy the sticks, and you have little candles, and it's just it was just incredible. I stayed right around gosh, Fuji. Oh gosh, I just can't remember anything right now. Fujima Inari, I think is the name, and that's an amazing temple too. The Tori. It's not a temple, but it's a Tori. I guess it is kind of like temples, but the Tories, those are the gates, the vermilion bright orange gates. And so you just go uphill for like, I don't know how long it took, but my legs for the rest of the trip were just like jelly after doing that. The first day I did that, the first day. That was amazing though. So anyway, all of these places were just, it was unexpected. I didn't even know I was going to be doing this trip to Japan was last minute, and I didn't know I was going to be, I didn't know that the tourist sites for me were going to basically be all these, Buddhist and Taoist temples and shrines. And that's what it ended up being. And for me, it ended up just being a pilgrimage. My soundtrack was Sejira, um, Joni Mitchell Sejira. But anyway, so time travel. How does that connect to time travel? Oh my God, we're at 30 minutes. Okay, I'm about to stop. I'm gonna have to continue this later. But the way that connects with time travel is there's a movie on Amazon that again I just synchronistically happened to pick up on a few months ago out of nowhere. Just looking for a way to de-stress one day. And I'm like, okay, let me watch this. The Man in the High Castle. Actually, it's the second season. I did pick it up last season on Amazon and I wasn't feeling it. Like I watched one episode or something, but I hit it again this season, like maybe in January or something. I don't remember. But anyway, it's about the plot of the show. The series is basically an alternate universe, or how what it would be like if Germany and Japan had won the war, and the United States is now the Pacific the Pacific the Pacific states of something something, I don't know, but basically Japan is running LA, certain sections of the United States, of course, California being one, and Germany is running the other, and other parts of Europe. So, but here's the catch. The catch is that's propaganda, because they keep finding these reels of films, because everything is like, the one reason why I didn't think I wanted to watch this is when I first saw it last season, the cinematography, everything is just dark and drab, and it's kind of depressing. It was kind of depressing looking at it, at the series. But this time when I watched it, probably because I'd had some background, I got it. So that was part of the whole, like they wanted it to seem like it was dreary, because this is a parallel world where, Germany has won, the Nazis have won. So like all of like none of the technology, everything is, they're still driving older model Fords, because the the concept is that it's free enterprise and capitalism that created all of this, progress that we see. That's the theory. So anyway, yeah, they have these cans of reel to reel films. My father was a photographer, and so I grew up with all these reel to reel. Remember those reel to reel films when you go to the movie theater, they put it on the projector. So they're finding these films in the series are films of the United States having won, of our real time history, in this dimension. But now that I think about it, it kind of also sort of speaks to what was that other film, that other movie? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! No, not a film. It also speaks to the concept of the Mandela effect, I guess, with these. And that's another topic too that fits into time travel, because we're talking about, oh my God, I gotta, I gotta go back and talk to my friend on Facebook. I talked to him a little while ago. I asked, every now and then I ask him just to make sure I'm not I'm not crazy, or I know I'm not crazy, but that, even though I come off as crazy sometimes, but I feel like we be jumping into different, you know, parallel dimensions or universes. And so we might forget, just like the Mandela effect. But I have to talk to him every now and then to get a reminder of something that happened back in, I think it was 2016, 2015. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send him a message when I stop recording, because I gotta get this stuff written down or something, because it's just, I can't remember all of it anymore. It's just so much. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, so Japan and Germany and time travel, all of that has a lot to do with one another. But what is the brand of time travel? The brand of time travel that is happening now, to me, it's not always like the time travel that you hear about or that you see people talk about. The internal, scape, mystical scape, um, is wild, and I am going to describe it someday, because I need to corroborate with other people, or not corroborate, but we need to share our experiences, so we don't think that we're just imagining these things or dreaming them up. We're time traveling, folks. We are definitely time traveling, and I don't even know if I should put. This is why I haven't been on YouTube, because I don't want to be putting all my stuff out there like that, because I mean, not that they don't know what's going on anyway, but when you start talking about it and getting other people to acknowledge their own experiences, validate their own experiences, then you maybe become a little more of a nuisance. So I don't know. We'll see. That's why I said this is all experimental, these YouTubes. Okay, I'm at 36 minutes and 53. I know there was a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about forgiveness. That's the other thing trending. How I've been very angry lately. We've had a lot of solar flares and solar activity. We've had Scorpio new moon, all these transits. Um, we know that they're putting stuff out, and every other month they have something new that they put out, introduced to us to try to break our immune systems or whatever, like create their little zombie apocalypse, onset. And it doesn't work. We flush it through. Um, so anyway, next time I want to talk about forgiveness. That's what I'm trending now. It's been really hard for me to forgive. I've gone through, I mean, the last, a lot of us have the last 3 years, it was like serious tower card moments for so many of us, especially with twin flames. There was some big stuff that went on that just like whoosh, and we're still kind of in the throes of it. A lot of us are healing. It was all meant to happen so that we could activate our superpowers and learn how to heal and deal with energies that that are coming now, that are here now. So it's a transition. So but for a lot of us, we thought, I thought I was dead. I thought I was dying. Seriously, a lot of people I know. I still think I did die, and I'm resurrecting, Phoenix style, lovely Phoenix style, darling. um, yeah, we're doing it, y'all. So yeah, I guess I'll have to come back. We're at 38 minutes now. So I'll come back another time and try to continue some of these themes. But yeah, summer's coming up real soon. I hope to be traveling and doing some other stuff, maybe coming on more often and talking about some of these issues, and doing some interviews, being a little more organized with this channel. Let's hope. But in the meantime, what am I calling myself? I don't even know my name. What did I call myself on that last video? I've got to come up with a name, but Oracle something something. Matrix has been trending too lately. Go back and watch all of those I want to say matrices, Matrix videos and movies. They've got a new one coming out, which is crazy. The Dark Crystal, another one coming out. But I'll be back on. I've been watching also a lot of the tarot card readers, which I'm getting a little bored with now. But there's a lot. Okay. Great. That was a lot of fun, guys. I talked too much as usual, but yeah, just want to kind of warm back up to YouTube, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great one. Peace.